Hello again. We're going to look again at pronouns, but this time we're going to look at the demonstratives, and they're used as both adjectives and as pronouns. This gets a little confusing, and in some of the instances there are no hard and fast rules. It's just context and familiarity with what you're doing and with knowing your vocabulary. And again, vocabulary is essential in this class. Let me review with you again. You need to know your alphabet. If you do not know the Hebrew alphabet and you're not familiar with the alphabet, it's very difficult to go. It's impossible to go any farther. So know your alphabet, know your Begay Kapat letters, know your gutturals, and know your final forms, and of course know your vowels. And then vocabulary, vocabulary, vocabulary. And the more vocabulary you know, the more easy these processes are going to be for you. So let's look now at our pronouns. So we have covered quite a bit of pronouns. We've looked at independent personal pronouns. We've looked at demonstrative pronouns and adjectives, and we've looked at the use of Hebrew. We've looked at Hebrew demonstratives. Now let's look and see what happens when these demonstratives are used as adjectives. Now the the demonstrative used as an adjective, as you can see here on this sheet that I have, and this makes it a little bit easier because unlike the book, actually this worksheet has your demonstrative that's used as an adjective in red. When a demonstrative is being used as an adjective, it's going to follow, this is important, it's going to come after or follow the noun that it modifies. It's going to agree in gender, number, and definiteness. So if this is going to be a demonstrative that's being used as an adjective, it's going to come after the noun. It's going to agree in number, gender, and definiteness. Let's look at this first one here. Ha-ish, hazah, this man. Now, if we were to translate this literally, it would be the man, the this. The reason that the definite article the is there is so that we can understand that this is a demonstrative that's being used as an adjective, because in Hebrew it has to agree in gender, they're both masculine, in number, they're both singular, and in definiteness, and they both have the definite article attached. Now, again, in Hebrew, if we were going to give a wooden English translation of this, it would be the man, the this. We don't have a good translation in English for that. If we were to go around and saying the man, the this, that would not be etymologically, syntactically correct. So a part of our work with learning Hebrew is that we have to also learn the syntax. This is going to be translated this man, even though the definite article appears in both the noun and the demonstrative. It's not translated. So ha-ish, hazah is not translated the man, the this. It's translated this man. Let's look at the next one here. Ha-isha, hazoth, this woman, and would be the correct translation. But if we were doing a wooden translation of this, we see that both are feminine, both are singular, both have the definite article. We would, in a wooden way, we would translate it the woman, the this. But we know that the definite article doesn't get translated, so it's this woman. Let's look at the next one just for some practice. Ha-ish, hey, that man. It's literally translated the man, the that. But again, that's not a good English translation, so the syntax has to be accounted for, and it would be translated instead of the man, the that, as that man. So here we have, let's look at this. The next one. Ha-isha, the woman, who? The woman, the that. We know that that's not going to be grammatically or syntactically correct. So we have to also alter for the syntax. That woman. So if it's going to be a demonstrative that's used as an adjective, just remember it's going to come after the noun. It's going to follow the noun that it modifies. It's going to have to agree in gender, in number, and in definiteness. And this does not alter. And so that's going to be your big key. It comes after the noun that it's modifying. It has to agree in gender, in number, and in definiteness. So what happens when the demonstrative functions as a pronoun and not as an adjective? When a demonstrative is going to function or act as a pronoun, it's not going to come after the noun. It's going to become before the noun. It's going to precede the noun, and it's going to agree in gender and in number, but not in definiteness. Now, this is comparable to the predicative use of the adjectives. Let's look at this. Za ha'ish. This, the man. Now, notice too that the verbal form of to be is going to be contained in all of these translations, even though this is a verbless form. Hebrew loves verbless clauses, and you're going to find them everywhere. And a part of your job as a translator is going to be to supply that verb, that form of to be, when it's necessary. So, a very wooden translation of this is this the man. And we have to supply the is, the verbal form of to be. This is the man. Zat ha'isha. This is the woman. So we do translate the definite article here. Notice that. So when it's going to be used, when the demonstrative is going to be used as a pronoun, remember it's not going to follow the noun, it's going to precede the noun. And it's going to agree in gender and in number, but not in definiteness. And so those are the cues or clues that you need to look for as far as your demonstratives when they're used as pronouns. Now, what happens when the demonstrative is used with a demonstrative, when the noun is used with a demonstrative adjective and an attributive adjective? When a noun is modified by both an attributive adjective and a demonstrative adjective, as in the good book, all three are going to need to agree in gender, number, and definiteness. In terms of word order, the noun will be first, the attributive adjective will be second, and the demonstrative adjective will be last. Let's look at this. Ha'ish, hatov, hazah. Literally translated, the man, the good, the this. Now, that of course would not be a good English equivalent. So we're going to have to work with syntax. Ha'ish, hatov, hazah. This good man. Let's look at the next one. Ha'isha, hatovah, hazoth. This good woman. Is how we would correctly translate this. Now, if we were to give a wooden translation, it would be the woman, the good, the this. So we have to, again, work with our syntax. This good woman. Ha'ish, hatov, hahe. That good man. And you can see on down the line with each of these illustrations that are on this sheet how that works. So you have first, you have the noun, then you have the attributive adjective, and then last you have the demonstrative adjective. So just remember that they have to agree. The nouns with demonstrative adjective and attributive adjective, they have to agree in person and gender, number, and definiteness in order to be translated correctly, or in order for it to be a noun with a demonstrative adjective and an attributive adjective. That's a lot of words. I get tongue twisted on all that. So now let's look at nouns with demonstrative pronouns and demonstrative adjectives. So when a noun is modified by both an attributive adjective and a demonstrative pronoun, as in this is the good book, the demonstrative pronoun will be the first without the definite article, and then the noun's going to follow. And the attributive adjective is going to be last, and that attributive adjective will agree with the noun in gender, number, and definiteness. Let's look at this. Za ha'ish hatov. This is the good man. And again, the verbal form of to be is implied here, and then you have to supply it. You're not going to see it. This is another one of those verbless clauses that Hebrew just loves. So, za ha'ish hatov. This, the man, the good. And then you would supply the verbal form of is. This is the good man. Let's look at the next one. Elah ha'anashim hatovim. These, the men, the good. So look at Halah, and that's going to be your attributive adjective, and it's going to be these, ha'anashim, the men, masculine, plural, with a definite article, hatovim, masculine, plural, with a definite article. So again, the attributive adjective is going to be last, and it's going to agree with the noun in gender, number, and indefiniteness. I'll let you look at those for just a moment. The best way to figure out how these pronouns are used, these demonstrative pronouns are used, is to actually get into your workbook and play with them and work with them over and over and over again until you're comfortable. These are not going to go away. You're going to see them for the remainder of the semester, and you're going to see them next semester. Hebrew is one of those subjects, like any language class that you're going to take. You can't just learn this week's lesson, then forget it and move on to the next, because next week's lesson is very much going to be building upon the lessons or the classes from the last 4 weeks. So please, every chance you get, go back, review, play in your workbook, and do those lessons over and over and over again as much as you possibly can. I'm going to stop here, and then I'm going to do interrogative pronouns for the next one.